Bwana asifiwe. Asalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Aya. Ekaweka. His Excellency the President will be here shortly. He is still coming. He is in a small meeting with the former president of Germany. Since he got here, he's had a lot of interest. People have shown a lot of interest in meeting our president, and he's in a meeting consulting for the good of Kenya. So I told him I'll come here and hold fort for him before he gets here. We get. Guten Tag. We only know 3 words in German. 4 words actually. I know we get. No, fine. We get Guten Tag, Volkswagen. Now, as you know, and the president talked about it, diaspora affairs are very, very important. And I know there are many things that you have and a lot of questions that you have. The message I want to send to you is this. The Kenyan government views our Kenyans who live outside Kenya as very important players in our lives and in our economy. You are important to us. And that is why the president chose to have a state department under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so that it's now Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. Because you are very, very important to us. And your importance is such that we want you to be comfortable, because as far as we are concerned, you are Kenyans, just having to live somewhere else, and your life will just be as good, and services will just be as quickly received or efficiently received while you're here as they are in Kenya. And that is why this department was formed. So I can tell you, myself, I've been in the diaspora. I lived in the US for 7 years. I lived in Australia for 5 years. I lived in the UAE for about 2 years. I have lived in the diaspora. I know how it means to be in the diaspora. So the issues that you're talking about, the things that you address are things that I've felt them, I've smelled them, I've tested them. I have suffered, with the same challenges that you're suffering from. So you're well placed. Our permanent secretary in charge of diaspora has lived in the US for many, many years. So she knows what it means to be a person of the diaspora. So you are talking to colleagues, you're talking to people who understand the problems that you are facing and that you are facing. Because at the end of the day, sisi watu wa bottom up tunataka pesa kwa mfuko. Si ndio? Tunataka pesa kwa mfuko. So the things I can tell you is that one, the PS I think you talked about, have you told them about our plan for passports and visas? So let me tell you. Now, if you live here, na umezaa mtoto na ni Mkenya, si nataka documents za Kenya? Hakuna hii mambo ya kungojea. Sisi mpango wetu sasa ni kuensure ya kwamba hapa Berlin and around this country we'll have a biometric system. Mtoto unakuja, mnajiandikisha, unatoa smile, unapigwa picha, si ndio? And then unapewa kitambulisho, ama hata kama itaenda irudi, unapewa pia passport, renew passport efficiently. We're already doing that in some countries. I think it's happening here also, to a certain degree, but we're improving the services. And we'll have the mobile biometric unit, so that now you don't have to come to Berlin. It can come to you. Hanover, It can come and find you where you are. And if itakuwa ina circulate namna hii, mnaambiwa inakuja siku hii, unapanga familia yako yote, bwana, bibi, mnaleta watoto, bibi akiondoka bwana analeta wengine wajulikani, But you get the point. The point is, you'll be sorted. You know what I mean? Sio ni mzuri? Simtupigie makofi. Number two, the president will mention it, but let me just talk about it. We are digitizing government services. So we'll have 7,000 government services online, which from where you are, you can log in, get your PIN, you can do land transactions, you can do all the things you need to do, apply for forms, get something done for your parents when you're still here online. It will be open to all Kenyans and visitors. You'll be able to go online and transact with the government of Kenya. So that will make life easier for you. Number three, our PS here, and we have two PSs here, and I'll introduce them later. We've got PS Dr. Singoi and PS Diaspora, Dr. Jogus. You know the ministry, you know the number one diplomat in this country, in Kenya, is His Excellency the President. Sisi ni watu wake wa mkono. And you see, anaitwa Dr. William Ruto, na minister wake ni Dr. Mutua, na PSs wake ni Dr. Singoi na Dr. Jogo. Hiyo department ya masomo tumemaliza, si ndio? Tuko well aligned kufanya kazi. When you're in the diaspora and you're raising money and you're investing and you want to go back home to Kenya, most of the time you send your money back to Kenya to your brother or your sister. Na wanakujengea nyumba, wanakuitisha, wanajenga nyumba, inapigwa picha, beautiful interior, kila kitu. Unaambiwa hii imepasuka, unatuma pesa, roof unasema change color, unaambiwa imeshafanywa, it will cost so much, sema sawa tu, unapigiwa exterior, unaonyeshwa gardening, and then when you go to Kenya unakuta ni ya jirani. It was not yours. Sio ni ukweli? Hivi ndio mambo, si hapo in the diaspora. Unapigiwa picha ya shamba, unakuta hata shamba si yako. So what the ministry is doing, it's organizing a database and a system where there'll be government authorized contractors, watu wanafanya BQ, wanafanya nini, who you can deal with directly, and they are monitored to ensure that when they tell you the building is coming up, what you see on your picture is what you will see. What you see on your phone, your set pictures, what you will see when you get back home, so that you do not lose your money, which is very important. The next point is about investing in Kenya. We don't just want you to just work here and send money home. We want you also to be an investor in Kenya. Here we are asking for Germans to come and invest in Kenya, but you are a Kenyan, you're here, you can invest in Kenya, and you can come to Kenya as an investor. So our embassy here will be facilitating you to be able to come to Kenya as an investor, whereby you can invest in Kenya and be able to sell products in Kenya and make things in Kenya and give people employment in Kenya. So we'll be working on those things. We are reviewing our tax code. We are reviewing our taxation modality to make sure it's easier for you to invest just like any other investor in Kenya. That is very important, so that you can invest in Kenya. But we also want you to be our agents, so that if there are companies here that are trading with Kenya, they are dealing with you as one of our agents to bring the commodities to here and to the rest of Europe. Lakini unajua hii itategemea na wewe. Uko chap chap, unapata hiyo biashara, kama unalalia masikio inaenda kwa mwingine. Si ndio? But we want to make sure that if you are chap chap, that opportunity is given to you. And then you are able to proceed and continue. The next thing that is very important, and I think this is, you've been talking about the remittances you send home. The amount of money that you're sending home all the time to your relatives and others. But we want to organize that money for you. I met somebody the other day who said, I have lived in the West for so long, I want to go back home, but I don't have any savings at home. I don't have a pension program at home. We're working on a pension program with our pension organization, so that as you work here, you can be you can have your pension at home, so that ukishamaliza unarudi nyumbani kuzeeka, unaishi maisha ya starehe, si ndio? You have invested back home, your pension is back home, and you are taken care of in your old age, which is very important as it continues. So far, so good, eh? So I'm answering all your questions. Sindio? And I'll answer a few more. But the point I'm making is this also, we're asking ourselves, look at the amount of debt. I mean, countries in the African continent are getting loans because of this climate change business at 10% interest rate. Whereas a country like Germany, that is a rich country, is getting the same facility from the same organization at 0.01%. We're getting our loans because we are from third world at 100 times more expensive than somebody from here. Unaona kuna shida hapo? So we are thinking, why can't we use your money to build Kenya without having to borrow from outsiders? That's why we've been talking about a diaspora fund. We're talking about you being able to get money in Kenya in a fund that we can borrow as a government, and then we build roads. Ukifika kule Murang'a, ukifika kule Karachuonyo, ukifika kule Kadhonzweni, ukifika kule Lungalunga, ukifika kule Isiolo, unaona barabara imejengwa na pesa ya diaspora, unakanyaga nchi yako kwa nguvu na raha, because it is your money. And that money will come to you, through the others. So we've got the whole of this plan. But also, we are looking at the skilled labor that you have in Kenya. We've got a huge skilled labor, a lot of young people who are looking for work. We are negotiating. After this meeting today, we have a session. The president will come, very short session, then we run to meet the chancellor. We met the president, going to be the chancellor, and we'll sit down. And one of the things we are talking to them about is two things: travel regulations to enable Kenyans to get visas in a more efficient manner, to be able to come and to work and live here without you kusumbuliwa sana. Number two is opportunities for Kenyans to work here. There's a gap of 250,000 that they need people. Why can't those people come from Kenya? So we are working on a whole program, the president may mention it, but in case it doesn't, of German. And we are talking to the government here about getting German-speaking people to come to Kenya and teach Kenyans Kijerumani, who can now teach our TVETs, our training colleges, Kijerumani, so that wewe kazi yako hapo, you are learning how to do wiring, you are learning how to do electrical works, engineering, you are learning how to do mechanical, you are learning how to do whatever skill you are learning. And as you are learning like that, you're also learning Kijerumani. So that when you're finished, you can immediately get into an aircraft and come here and fill a position. So we have that plan. So if you are here and you are a Kenyan and you know Kijerumani, in, out, written, upside down, spelled, everything, you can be one of the teachers who can come to Kenya and teach Kenyan teachers Kijerumani, so they can teach others. And it will be easier for you to come home and teach Kenyans. Sindio? Eh. What do you call a cow in Kijerumani? Moo. Eh? Moo. So that you can come home and you can use a multi-speech language. Unasema hii ni ng'ombe. This is a cow. A cow is called poo, na huyu ni ng'ombe. Huyu ni ng'ombe sana huyu. Anaitwa poo. And then it is easier because you're using a multiplicity of languages to be able to get the message across. So, now let me take this opportunity now to answer questions. I know you've got questions. The lady there who's been holding her hand up. If is this maybe just from where you are. Just take the microphone to where you are. It's easier.
Hi, Mr. Mutua, Dr. Mutua, thank you so much for this opportunity. Everybody is talking about investment back home for the diasporans who live in Germany or any other part of the world. But my question is, there are a lot of Kenyans who disannounced, or I don't know how it's called exactly, who have changed their citizenship. They are not Kenyans anymore, and they are Germans. But like I am one of them, but getting to invest back home is really difficult. Because those days when we were changing our citizenship, we could remain with our IDs and we could also hold our passports. But nowadays the German government take the passports and take the IDs. So when we go back home and you would like to invest, because we are foreigners, the opportunities are very, very limited for us. So when we, my question is, how could we benefit as born Kenyan, as a Kenyan blood, as who live in the diaspora, and help also with the economy of the Kenyan? Yeah, thank you so much.
Can we get another question, please? We can take one more from here. From here, we just take the rows, please.
Which one?
There's this gentleman here, the one wearing a blue shirt. Yeah, but the shirt behind you.
Good afternoon. My name is Nick. I represent the Youth Congress in Delhi. And everybody else is talking about investment back in Kenya. But the real questions are, we are not talking about the loan policies in our country, because the loan policies in Kenya is at 30%. Meaning if I'm an investor, a young person, I want to invest in Kenya, it becomes so hard for me. Imagine when I go to the bank and take a loan of 1 million, I have to return it with 1.3, I have to return it with 300,000 more. So my request today on behalf of the young people in Berlin was, or would be, is there a point whereby His Excellency can bring the banks to the table, whereby they can renegotiate about the policies of the loan policies in Kenya, so that when we have a smaller rate, it's going to encourage most of our young people and also the investors back here in diaspora to invest more in Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you. Back there, you know, mkono mpaka hata vidole imeanza kusweat. Then we'll get to the lady from here, then we'll go.
Hello, my name is Brian Corey, and I'm doing my PhD here in Germany. And
You don't say.
my name is, I'm here, right? Yes. And I hate the same question first, but I do have a solution actually, because it's also good to provide solution. So the first solution that about us using the Kenyan citizenship, right? It would be good if the Kenyan government, right, has a proper law that we don't use the Kenyan citizenship, right? When getting the Kenyan citizenship, because many developing countries, like Brazil, Tunisia, have this law, and Germany would like to give us a passport without us having to renounce our Kenyan citizenship. One more, now, it would also be good, most of us have family back at home, it would also be good if His Excellency do the same thing they do for South Africa. If, for example, Kenyans can have a way to visit 1 month or 3 months visa-free, so that you can easily invite our family members elsewhere. Okay, that's it for me.
Hello, and God bless everybody. My own was actually to add to my sister who
What is your name, please?
Esther, who spoke about we as Kenyans who are German citizens investing back in Kenya. And I just wanted to add to our point that even we as Kenyans, when we are going back from born in Kenya, we have to take a visa, which is costing us also money. And so this is my actually point of how can Kenyan government negotiate with the German government that if it is possible for Britain and America, for Kenyans, only Kenya to go back home visa-free, why not we Kenyans in Germany? Because it's not even €50, it's actually, and tickets are are expensive now since Corona, and now you are also forced to pay for 50 euros or 45 euros visa to go back to my motherland. It's not fair. So he is trying to negotiate with the German government to allow us to go home, even at that we can go home visa-free. Even if he doesn't want our birth certificate, we have it. Yeah, because we are taking our IDs and the other things.
Is a lady sitting right next to the camera person? We're coming to that thing eventually. If you look at the plan, you can see what we're progressively making in this way.
Thank you for the opportunity. I have a question about our payers.
Your name is?
Sally Klaus.
Yes, go ahead.
I have a question about au pairs and volunteering for those young girls or young guys back in Kenya. I am a YouTuber. I've been doing this the last 2 years. I'm inspiring a lot of young guys. And the problem is they have learned German up to B2, B1. And I'm also dealing about with other Africans. In South Africa, like they take 1 week or 2 weeks to get visa. But back in Kenya, even to get the opportunity of even having that appointment to get a visa, it's a problem. 6, 7 months. I have someone, for example, with a contract since March. She's supposed to come to work here, but in Stuttgart where I live. But she's got right now, I think last week, appointment on May. The contract is already had started from March. So can you please do something? For those who have learned, German is very, very difficult. And if they have paid a lot of money, go ahead and sit back in Kenya to learn the German. Why don't embassy back in Kenya to give them? Because I came as au pair the last 13 years. It was really hard. But for those guys who have learned a lot, have used a lot of money, give them this opportunity to come and also to excel like us here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me answer this one, sir. Or we can take one from here, then we'll move here to the other questions. There's another lady there. The gentlemen are not asking questions, so. No, there's one here.
Gentlemen.
Hello everyone. Hello. My name is Apollo Mondi. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. And my question regards the...
You live here though?
I live here now.
Okay.
And my question regards the digitalization. Well, it's a good step that you're doing, but however, we're having challenges, especially when it's not in your ministry, but in lands. The process of digitalization has been going on for a while, but up to now, we cannot conduct a search online. And for people in diaspora, most of them, I think they buy land, they invest in land. And so my question is, what is the government doing to, and how long will it take? Because I think it's been going on for a while. How long will it take before we can be able to transact with the lands ministry online from Germany?
Thank you. Thank you. Now there's the first question about the passports. You know, it's complicated. Kenyans who live in many countries of the world are carrying 2 passports. If you live in Australia, you have a Kenyan passport. If you live in the US, you have an American passport and a Kenyan passport. It's not a problem. As far as where we are concerned as Kenyan government, we don't care how many passports you have. You can be a British, American, a German citizen, but you're still a Kenyan citizen. And we don't have a problem with you carrying the Kenyan passport. But I've been told there's been an issue about the German accepting dual citizenship, etc. So we're going to bring it up in the bilateral as we continue talking to them, so we can be able to sort out that issue. Nick, and land loan policies. Nick, about loan policies and tax policies, interest rates is about 12 to 13 to 18%, not 30%. but it depends who umeenda kwa watu wa loan sharks. But it's still very high, it should be 2%, 5%, so you can invest. So it's something we're working on. It's our inflation rate now is 9.4%, here it's what, 8.5 now, and people have gone on strike. We are really being hit by a lot of factors. Brian Opondi, His Excellency the President, will be coming in any minute now, but I'll continue and hold fort until he gets here. The issue about visiting visa-free makes sense if you're a Kenyan born, but you see, we get you depending on the passport that you are holding. Unaelewa, eh? So we just need to sort out that passport problem. Sorry? I mean, when you come to Kenya and you are carrying a German passport, and you are carrying an Iraqi passport, or you are carrying a Spanish passport, you will be treated as per the agreement we have between us and that country. You know what I mean? That's what we are saying. Yeah? One of the things we are saying and one of the discussions we're having is about the ability for Kenyans to come here without a lot of bureaucracy. That point was mentioned. You are waiting for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months just to get a visa to come here. It is not fair. Si ndio? Kama hatutaki tukija watuambie tusikuje, tuache kuja hapa, tufunge mlango tuende nchi nyingine. But because they want us here, then they need to relax their procedures. Esther, I think we've talked about that. Sally Claus about jobs and everything and appropriate everything. I mean, this is where we're here. We really want to facilitate our people to come and work here and live here. I've been quoted saying I don't have a problem with people coming and living in Germany, in the US, in Australia, in South Korea, because you're improving your livelihood and you're making more money for our country. So I'm very, very happy if Kenyans live here. So we'll work together. Now with this Department of Diaspora Affairs, we will be able to work together to ensure that we take care of such issues. So I think selling clothes is a very good point, but we'll make it easier for you. I know it's expensive, going to institute, everything, that's why we're talking about teachers and teaching English, so make it easier for you. And also how you are assimilated here. The embassy here will be doing a lot of work to facilitate a lot of things for you. Apollo Mwangi, aka Advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I'm going to post digitization. Yeah. The digitization that began in the former regime. Sijui kama mmepata habari. Sijui mmepata habari. Hii ni serikali mpya ya William Ruto. Sio? Hii serikali iko good coalition with some of us who are now in government, na sisi ni watu wa chap chap. Na our president anaitwa William Kipchirchir Samuel Ruto. Kipchirchir means chap chap. By the way, it means chap chap. Yeye anafanya hii mambo chap chap. So tulianza digitization juzi. Within the next 2 months, I think now we have about 2,000-3,000 services, and another 2,000 are coming up. So I can assure you, within the next 6 months, it will be a different story. We need to digitize so that we can improve services, so we can make more money, so that our country can grow. So I think I've answered your question. Can take some more. This madam here, you're going to go kwa nini, and that gentleman and that lady in white. The gentleman in the black suit. That is a gentleman. Darudi huko. If we get time, I'll come.
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Wakazi Shape. I'm gate crashing from Norway, and my question is, as you emphasize on making arrangements for people to come over to Europe in search of greener pastures, which is very good. At the same time, I'm concerned about the brain drain, because we have a lot of professionals here in Germany and also in Norway and other places. How are we going to tackle it? Can we use technology at least to transfer these social remittances? Because because the emphasis has been so much on the financial remittances, but we are really missing out that there is a lot of expertise in the diaspora which can really be transferred back home to build our country. So I would wish that we look at it in the area of technology. I'm already doing it. I train almost 2,000 people in Kenya every weekend. Thank you.
The gentleman in a black suit and glasses, you have any sunglasses, I'm at the
Rapid side, thank you. So my name is Thomas Kalunge. I won't actually, she asked the question that I was to ask, but I want to put emphasis on that. So we have a big problem with the brain drain in terms of sometimes we don't really have a brain drain, we rather need to create a brain in circulation. Meaning, how can we be able to harness the knowledge we have here and bring it at home and develop it? We are a country that is developed, that is blessed with very well intelligent people in terms of technology developers. We are setting the scenery in terms of fintech and all that. How can we then make sure that we develop an excellence center? You started something like that, I know, but how can we make sure that we develop an excellence center when it comes to technology, that we can be able to make Kenya an off-sourcing country in regard to development, technology development, and those kind of knowledge. Thank you.
Asante Thomas. The lady in white. The lady in white.
Thank you so much. My name is Dr. Caroline Kipkoech. I just wanted to ask if we can use the diaspora funds to support youths to be able to learn Germany.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the President.